Om Shrutismritipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Padarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagini Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Dikkaladhyanavacchinnananta chinmatramurtaye Dikkaladhyanavacchinnananta chinmatramurtaye Swanubhutyaikamānāya namah shantaya tejase Swanubhutyaikamānāya namah shantaya tejase. We are studying the verses of Neeti Shatakam, which is a Dharma Shastra, and these verses are mainly on Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma are the universal values and applicable to everybody in any part of the world, any age, any background. So we have seen a number of verses from this Neeti Shatakam composed by the poet and sannyasi Bhartrihari. We have seen the topics of Murkha Jana Paddhati, the nature of Avivekis. Then there were verses on values like Ahimsa, Satyam, and then we saw Sajjana Purushas, who are the wise jnanis, what is their conduct. And we come to the fourth topic, which is Vidhi. Now, the word Vidhi translates to destiny or fate, we say, or prarabdham, all these words, and daivam also we can say. Then the last topic which we will do is the Purushartha. Purushartha is the concept of free will. Now both Vidhi and Purushartha are accepted by our Shastra, though there is a difference in interpretation. So there may be some gray area. Every school or an acharya will interpret it differently. But there is a point of reconciliation which we will see today. So what exactly is Vidhi? Now, Vidhi, does it mean an accidental occurrence? Does it mean chance or some random event? No, because we have seen how the universe is intelligently ordered, and there is an order which governs the universe. There is a physical order, there is a biological order, there is a karmic order, psychological order, and which all follow the laws and functions. So, so it is very important for us, to understand what is the nature of Vidhi or destiny. Otherwise, there is much confusion and suffering. Like when we ask the questions, why do good people suffer in the world? And why do the Durjanas, they seem to prosper? So there can be only one answer, and that is Vidhi. But what exactly is Vidhi is explained by the Shastra as Purva Janma Karma Phalam. Purva Janma Karma Phalam or Prarabdha. Now, this Purva Janma Karma Phalam is what is indicated by all the planets. There is the Rahu Dasha, Shani Dasha, Ketu. They're all a predictive science where there is a indication of what kind of karma phalam one will go through. So this is the concept of vidhi. Then what is purushartha? Purushartha also there are two meanings. One is purushena arthyate iti purusharthaha. The goals that are pursued by a purusha, human beings, and that is how we have the fourfold purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. That is one meaning. Second meaning is purushartha means prayatnam. That is the faculty of choice or the free will which humans alone are endowed with. We have seen this how other species and other embodiments, they are mainly bhoga pradhana. They are programmed to exhaust only, and the faculty of choice is very, very limited for other beings. So when we say in the case of human life, is it to what degree, to what role does prarabdha play, destiny, and how much of it is purushartha? So let's continue about how much in life are we influenced by vidhi, destiny or fate, and how much is it purushartha? We will not know. So it is a combination of both any event. Like the example of the cricket match. Till the last ball, one does not know whether destiny, it was a destiny to win, or it was because of their purushartha. So now let us continue with the verses, and we have one important verse I would like to share, and that is on universal values, and then we'll go to the verses on vidhi. This is an important subhashitam. Shrotram shrutenaiva na kundalena. Shrotram shrutenaiva na kundalena. Danena panirna tu kankanena. Danena panirna tu kankanena. Vibhatikaya karunaparana. Vibhatikaya karunaparana. Paropakairna tu chandanena. Paropakairna tu chandanena. So here, this Subhashitam is about the glory of Shravanam, Danam and Paropakaram. So what does Bhartrahari say here? Shrotram, Shrutena eva na kundalena vibhati. The verb here is vibhati. Vibhati means to shine or be adorned. So Bhartrahari is mentioning how the physical ornaments not adorn the body. Then what adorns the body? Different parts of the body. Let's take Shrotram, the ears. So Bhartrahari says, Kundalena Shrotram na vibhati. The beautiful kundalam earrings, do not adorn the ear. Then what does? Shrutena eva. That is, Shastra Shravanam alone adorns the ears. Yeah? The real ornament is Shravanam. Then what about Panihi, the hands? So, panihi kankanena na vibhati. Bangles do not adorn the hand, but it is danam. Danam is charity, or sharing and giving. By being a contributor, that is the purpose of the hands, really. Then kayaha, what about the body? Kayaha karuna paranam vibhati. Paropakarehi. Nadu chandanena. Chandanam is sandalwood. So any amount of body lotions or face packs or sandalwood paste, they don't really make the body shine. But what does paropakarehi? Karuna paranam. The compassionate actions of paropakara, helping others, is what the body should be used for, and the body shines with that. So here this Neeti verse highlights the role of Shravanam, Danam and Paropakaram. Shrutena Shrotram Shrutena eva na kundalena Danena pane natu kankanena vibhati. Kayaha karuna paranam paropakarehi natu chandanena. Now let us see the next shloka. This is about the vidhi. The next one, I'll chant it out first. Yadhatra nija bhala pattalikitam stokam mahatva Yadhatra nija bhala pattalikitam stokam mahatva Tatrapnoti marusthale pinitaram merau tatha tatonadhikam Tatrapnoti marusthale pinitaram merau tatonadhikam Tadhiro bhavavittavatsu kripanam vrittim vritha sakrita Tadhiro bhavavittavatsu kripanam vrittim vritha sakrita Upe pashyapayo nidhavapi ghato grinhati tulyam jalam Upe pashyapayo nidhavapi ghato grinhati tulyam jalam. Here, what Bhartrihari is talking about, the role of the vidhi. How one's vidhi will determine the financial situation. How good or bad are our finances is being pointed out here. Yat hatra nija bhala patta likitam. What is nija bhala patta likitam? Nija bhala patta likitam means thalai eluthu. So what is written on our forehead at the time of prarabdha? Yeah? So what a person will receive in life is dependent on what is written on the forehead, and that's called Nija Bhala Patta Likitam. And who has written that? Dhata. And here Dhata is Brahmadev or the creator. Yat Dhata or by Dhata, Dhatra, Nija Bhala Patta Likitam, whether it is stokam means small amount, or mahat, great amount of dhanam, whether you're destined to become a Bill Gates, or an Ambani family, or like a Kuchela, Daridra Brahmana, is nija bhala patta likitam, depends on that, called vidhi. Mahatva dhanam. Tat prapnodi, that is what one will receive in life. Then marusthala api nitaram merau tataha na adhikam. Now, whether one is in a desert, Marusthalaha means desert, and Meru Parvata means mountain peak. But standing for a very rich place. So, whether one will be born in a rich situation, rich family, or in a desert-like, place where one has to struggle, that is again the role of the vidhi. So one will receive exactly what one deserves. and what one deserves is called Purva Janma Karma Padam. So Vidhi is very clear. It is really what one deserves. It is a result of our Purva actions in the past. And hence, Tataha na adhikam. So one will not get more or less than that. So the message here is, why should one struggle and be anxious and ambitious? That is why Shankaracharya also chants the Bhaja Govindam, Moodha Jahi Vidhanagama Trishnam Purusat Buddhi Manasi Vitrishnam Yallabase Nija Karmopatam. So whatever is within your karma, you be satisfied with that. Give up the manasa Krishna. So tat prapnoti. Then tat dhiraha bhava. Tat dhiraha bhava means, and so you have courage. Do not worry too much about your future investments and children. Definitely we have to plan and do investments, but also have contentment. That is why contentment is called the greatest wealth. What is to come to us by Vidhi will come no matter what, and what is not going to come, how much ever we struggle, it is not going to be received. Then, Vitvatsu Kripanam Vrittim Vritha Ma Kritaha. Then Bhartrihari says, then why do you, have this vritti, this conduct of a Kripana Bhava? Why do you, stoop down and beg of the Vitvatsus? The wealthy people, you go and ask for loans and favors. Now, why do you do that? You be dignified in your own status and do not stoop down. Be independent and dignified is the third line. Then the fourth line, Kupe Pashya Payonidhi Nithau Api Khataha Grinhati Tulyam Jalam. So the example is Kupe Pashya. You look into a well, or you look into a Payonidhi. Payonidhi means an ocean. Yeah? Then supposing you have a Ghataha. Ghataha is a vessel. Yeah. Now the vessel can only hold that much quantity of water, whether it is a well or it is an ocean. Yeah? So the idea here is, whatever is destined by Vidhi to be received will be received by a person as per Prarabdha. So why should one struggle and be over ambitious and have anxiety? When one will receive what one deserves and neither more nor less. So let's chant this again. Yadhatra nija bhala patta lipitam stokam mahatvananam tat prapnoti marusthale binitaram tato nadhikam tat dhiro bhava vittavatsu kripanam vrittim vritam sakrita kupe pashya payonidhavapi ghato grinhati tulyam jalam. Okay. Next. So next one is also talking about Vidhi. Let's chant this. Naiva kritif phalati naiva kulam na sheelam. Naiva kritif phalati naiva kulam na sheelam. Vidyapi naiva na jayatna kritapi seva. Vidyapi naiva na jayatna kritapi seva. Bhagyani purvatapasa khalu sanchitani. Bhagyani purvatapasa khalu sanchitani. Kale phalanti purushasya yathaiva vrikshaah. Kale phalanti purushasya yathaiva vrikshaah. So here, Bhartrihari continues and says that only that portion of our Sanchita karma is going to bear fruit in this life, and which is called Vidhi or Daivam or Prarabdham or fate and destiny. So, na eva akritihi phalati, na eva kulam, na sheelam, vidya api, na eva, na cha yatna kritapi seva. So, here a lot of negations are there in the first two lines. So, Bhartrihari is trying to impress upon the fact that every event in life is determined by Vidhi alone. Yeah? And Purushartha, of course, also. Now, here Bhartrahari says that Vidhi is very, very powerful. Sometimes when there is a Prabala Prarabdha, very strong, we cannot change it at all. So we can only pray that we have the strength to go through that Prarabdha phase. That may be what Sade Sati, Shani Dasha is all about. So here, Bhartrahari says, Akritihi na eva phalati. A personality of a person, Akriti, form, does not count. Yeah. Then what about Kulam? Kulam, Sheelam, conduct, lineage, they also do not count. What about Vidya? All the academic qualifications and achievements, no, they also do not count. Yatna Krita Seva, what about the diligent work that one has done, the Seva one has done, that also does not count. Then second line, Bhagyani Purva Tapasa Khalu Sanchitani Kale Phalanti Purushasya. For a human being, that the Purva Janma Karma Phalam, which is the Bhagyam, which is a portion of the Sanchita Karma, alone what Kale Phalanti. Kale Phalanti means it will bear fruit at the appropriate time. So we all have experienced this, no doubt, that how only at a certain time, for that person, at a certain place, that event is destined to happen. We read in the news how somebody miraculously escaped this flight crash or the train accident. So there can be no other reason for this other than Vidhi. So here Bhartrahari is trying to highlight the powerful role of Vidhi. So once we understand there are some factors in life which cannot be changed, then I have no choice but to accept its situation. Then once I have made up my mind to drop the resistance and accept it, then it is perhaps less painful. Yeah? And of course, there are situations where Purushartha is more important. Uddharet Atmana Atmanam Atmanam Nav Avsadet. Gita says, lift yourself by the power of your mind. No? So that is definitely there. But in this verse, Bhartrahari is highlighting the powerful role of Vidhi. No? See, we can see this in the Itihasa stories also. Sri Rama, what happened? He was to be coronated as king in Ayodhya, but overnight the Vidhi changed. Of course, Sri Rama, it doesn't matter because Avatara, but overnight exiled and then went to the forest. But how did Sri Rama accept it? With the same smile. In fact, he started seeing the positive part of that exile period. Oh, I will have satsanga with Mahatmas, visit ashramas. Where will I get to listen to all this Upadesha other than being in the satsanga with sages? So that is the hidden message here, that when we go through a tough phase, we are exhausting our Papa Karma Phalam, which is a good thing. It gets debited from my account. But I become stronger through the adverse situation by facing it in a strong way, dropping the resistance and welcoming the change. In fact, pain teaches us much more than a happy situation. So in the painful situation, we become contemplative and say, why me? Why is this happening? Happy situation, we do not ask questions. We don't have much vairagyam. So even in Mahabharata, same thing, Vidhi, how Yudhishthira lost in the dice game and they were all, exiled again. So when Draupadi is consoling Yudhishthira and says, this is all Vidhi and Daivam, my lord, and there are some munis passing through the forest, and in order to cheer them up, they tell the stories of Harishchandra and Nala Damayanti, who suffered even more. And they say, Yudhishthira, don't lose your courage. This is all Vidhi playing a role in your life. So that is about the Vidhi. Now we will see one more shloka about Vidhi from Bhartrahari, and that is this one. Vane rane shatru janati madhye वने रणे शत्रुजलाग्निमध्ये महार्णवे पर्वतमस्तके वा महार्णवे पर्वतमस्तके वा सुप्तं प्रमत्तं विषमस्थितं वा सुप्तं प्रमत्तं विषमस्थितं वा रक्षन्ति पुण्यानि पुराकृतानि रक्षन्ति पुण्यानि पुराकृतानि. Okay, all right. So here, vane rane shatru jalagni madhye maharnave parvata mastake va suptam pramattam vishamasथितं va rakshanti punyani pura kritani. Now, is vidhi always, appearing as a negative factor in our life? No. So many positive things happen to us, right? We attended the Manjapudi camp despite all odd factors. That is also a vidhi that some of us got to be here. And so there is a positive, favorable situation also in vidhi. Vidhi can, bring unfavorable situation or favorable situation. So here, what does Bhartrahari say? He says, Vane Rane. Vane means you may be in a most dense forest. Or Rane. Rane means in the midst of a battlefield. Or Shatru. You may be surrounded by enemies. Or Jala. Surrounded by water. Maybe flood situation. Like this Wayanad landslide happened. Then Agni Madhye. Maybe there is a fire that has happened, sudden explosion, bomb blast, whatever. Or Maharnave, ocean-like situation, is around you. Or Parvata Mastake, or the peak of a mountain. So these situations are describing difficult situations, adverse situations in life. Or what? One may be asleep, suptam. Or pramattam. Pramattam means careless. Careless or negligent. Or vishama sthitam va. Vishama means a situation of imbalance, not samam. Vishama sthitam va. Then what? So here there is a contrast. Even though your situation may be very insecure, very unpredictable, looks like there is no hope left. Then Rakshanti Punyani Pura Kritani, Bhartrahari says. But if your vidhi is favorable, if you are destined, your prarabdha destiny has the favorable punyam, then what? Rakshanti. That punyam or the favorable vidhi will still protect one in all these situations. Bhartrahari says here. So the idea here is that, and the contrast also we have to understand. One can be in a very secure place, comfortable situation in life, wealthy and have a own house. Everything is going well. But if there is an unfavorable vidhi, then despite all the security we have, one can face unfavorable vidhi or perish. And here it is said, and despite all the insecure, difficult, challenging situations in life, if the vidhi is favorable, then it will protect. So Puja Swamiji often says, prayerful living is intelligent living. And definitely prayer is very powerful to change certain parameters in the vidhi. It is a secret ingredient, so we can remain prayerful all the time. Sharanagati and prayerful living, all these will help to adjust the parameters. Okay. All right. So let us chant these 3-4 shlokas again. So the first one we saw was on the glory of Shravanam and the glory of Dhanam and Paropakaram. Shrotram Shrutenaiva na Kundalena Dhanena Panirna tu Kankanena Vibhati Kaya Karuna Parana Paropakarena tu Chandanena. यद्धात्रा निजभारपट्टलिखितं स्तोकं महद्वाधनं तत्प्राप्नोति मरुस्थलेऽपि नितरां मेरौ ततो नाधिकम् तद्धीरो भव वित्तवत्सु कृपणां वृत्तिं वृथा सा कृथा कूपे पश्य पयोनिधावपि भटो गृह्णाति तुल्यं जलम्. This one is on Vidhi. नैवा कृतः फलति नैवा कुलं न शीलम् विद्यापि नैव न च यत्नकृतापि सेवा भाग्यानि पूर्वतपसा खलु सञ्चितानि काले फलन्ति पुरुषस्य यथैव वृक्षाः वने रणे शत्रुजनाग्नि मध्ये महार्णवे पर्वतमस्तके वा सुप्तं प्रमत्तं विषमस्थितं वा रक्षन्ति पुण्यानि पुरा कृतानि. So these were a few shlokas from Bhartrihari's Neeti Shatakam on the role of Vidhi. So in the next session, we will see the role of Purushartha. Purushartha is the free will faculty of choice. But the message to be understood here is our prarabdha has already begun, prarabdha karma. And the body also we can see, it has to go through experiences. And that is why Krishna is telling Arjuna, you know, success or failure is not in your hands. Yeah. So, yogastak kuru karmani sangam tektva karmanyatha siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yogaha uchyate. Okay. So, this samatvam is what we have to acquire in life. Yeah. And whether it is a favorable vidhi or unfavorable vidhi, let us gain that inner balance. Yeah, not be swayed by either of the two. So when it is a happy situation, favorable situation, you know, I do not become proud or arrogant or hit the ceiling. And when things are not going well for me also, let me not be overwhelmed by the situation, but keep that inner balance. Because of the mantra, even this will pass away. So both happy situations and tough situations are going to pass away. So that Vedanta also tells us the same thing, to have that inner balance and samatvam. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.